From the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia comes the first ever PFL MENA playoffs. Win and move on to the championship. Lose and the dream is over. 4 weight divisions, including the star-studded featherweights.
The Snatcher snatches a victory here.
Headlined by a rising talent from the Kingdom.
A big finish for Al-Qahtani on home soil.
The all-action welterweights.
Oh my goodness! Now he's out.
With the Jordanian Lion out for another fast finish.
Oh my goodness! Jarrah Al-Salawi.
Plus, the best of the bantamweights and lightweights all in the cage.
Oh boy! He's out! He's out! Knockout victory!
16 fighters, 8 championship spots, 1 dream to be crowned PFL MENA champion. It's win or go home semifinals. This is the PFL MENA playoffs.
Welcome to Riyadh, the beautiful capital of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Tonight we are coming to you live from the PFL MENA studio in the spectacular Boulevard City, the heartbeat of this metropolis's nightlife, where we are about to witness the weigh-ins ahead of a monumental night tomorrow in the same venue for so many fighters from this region. It's our semi-finals here in PFL MENA. Tomorrow night, 8 athletes will have the opportunity to earn their place in the championship, taking part later this year with $100,000 checks, MENA titles, and potentially golden opportunities ahead. 2 scintillating cards match up at the top of our show tomorrow night. In the main event, it's local legend, Saudi Arabian superstar Abdullah Al-Qahtani, who steps into a PFL cage for the 5th time. High expectations in front of a home crowd, but an undefeated and unbelievably confident Abdurrahman Aliyazat could be his toughest test to date. Andy Shepard and the skyscraper Stefan Struve with you. And look, Stefan, I know how excited you are to be back here in Riyadh.
Yeah, and he can't wait for the playoffs. We've seen the fighters showcase their skill set now under the PFL banner. We've seen what they can do. Now it's time for the playoffs. I cannot wait.
Yeah, and that main event, Abdullah Al-Qahtani, a lot of weight of expectation on his shoulders. Can he live up to it once again?
I think it's going to be a really interesting fight. He's going to bring his aggressive style to the cage again. He's got a really interesting opponent because he's really elusive. He does a really good job controlling the pace and the distance. Can he find him inside the cage?
Yeah, Aliyazat 4-0 as a professional. Some may say he lacks experience against the 10-fight veteran in Abdullah Al-Qahtani, but sometimes that inexperience brings unpredictability.
Andy, he did not sound too impressed about Abdullah Al-Qahtani. He said he was not on his level. He said a lot of people said he's a really dangerous fighter. He doesn't agree. He can't wait for this opportunity to showcase his skill set.
Big talk from the Cobra, Abdurrahman Aliyazat. Can he back it up? We're going to find out in our main event tomorrow night. But look, let's take a look at how the PFL MENA season works. We've already done this in Europe. We've done it on the global scene. This is our second regional league. We saw the success of PFL Europe take place last year, and PFL MENA looking to follow hot in its footsteps. Of course, 8 fighters per division. There's 4 weight divisions. Each has a regular season fight. The winners progress to the semi-finals, which is where we are this week. The semi-final winners will move on to the finals later this year, where $100,000 checks, inaugural PFL MENA championships, and potential global opportunities await. Really career and life-defining moments coming tomorrow night for these athletes. We'll take a look at our featherweight bracket. We've already talked about that main event. Abdullah Al-Qahtani, top of the card against Abdurrahman Aliyazat. Marwan Belagwit against Islam Reda. Reda had a very tough time in his opening round.
Yeah, very close fight. You talk about a clash of styles. Marwan Belagwit, a very powerful kickboxer. Islam Reda, 8-time national champion, BJJ of Egypt. Very interesting.
I think we're going to call that one a banger, Stefan Struve. But 2 big matchups there in the featherweight bracket. Which 2 we're going to move forward to that $100,000 championship? We're going to find out tomorrow night. Now, Abdullah Al-Qahtani, we talk about him as one of the leading names in combat sports in this region. He's coming on a 4-fight win streak. He'll step in for the 5th time in PFL tomorrow night. We see their Muay Thai champion back in 2022, and he's the first fighter from this region in PFL. A lot of accolades to his name.
Yeah, and he lives up to those accolades because the performance he put down earlier this year, absolutely incredible. And from what we've seen so far from him on the global stage, just a very, very special fighter.
We're seeing that making his entrance at the Champions versus Championship card back in February. It was a beautiful, beautiful offensive display here.
Always looking for the finish, very aggressive when it comes to the ground, always looking for the sub. This fight against
Yazid Hassayan, this is his last contest, his opening round matchup. And Yazid Hassayan, who quick on his feet after a barrage of blows from the Ripper. Will it be the same again tonight? Well, we see his opponent there, Abdulrahman Aliyazat. The Cobra, he calls himself all week. He's been walking around the hotel oozing confidence.
Yeah, he showed great submission defense in his opening bout this season. He does a really good job controlling the pace, controlling the distance, and then he started to show up more and more with his hands. And in the end, with his kicks from that Taekwondo background, he knocked down his opponent, tried to finish the fight, couldn't finish, but he's a very impressive fighter. In my opinion, he's got the exact style you need as an answer for Abdullah Al-Qatani's style.
The Cobra doesn't believe the Ripper. Abdullah Al-Qatani has the power to stop him. That's going to be a beautiful, striking contest to top our bill tomorrow night here in Riyadh.
Incredible main event.
Yeah, and like the pressure, we talked about that, Stefan. How much pressure is it when you're fighting in front of a hometown crowd?
He carries the weight of an entire country on his shoulders, but he does a really good job doing that. As we've seen earlier this year on the global stage, he loves it, and you need to love it.
Well, another bracket we'll take a look at now is our welterweight bracket. Jalal Al-Salawi, the Jordanian Lion, takes on Omar El Defroy, and then Mohamed Al-Akra against Amir Fazli. Again, two 50-50 fights in a lot of people's opinion.
Yeah, really close matchups. Really clashes of styles again, if you ask me. And opportunity for all four of these fighters to really make the most out of this MENA here.
Jalal Al-Salawi, former Brave FC welterweight champion, 10-1 in that division, and really a pioneer of the sport in this region. Again, coming into this MENA season, was one of these standout athletes that was announced for this season.
Yeah, the favorite, in my opinion. And when you have a win over Abdurrahimov, come on.
The Lazy King. Anyone who holds a victory over the Lazy King is certainly hard to deal with. 20-6. This will be his 27th fight. He's competed on the global scene. He started out in the Challenger Series that we see here for PFL, made his mark, went on to compete against the likes of Sadibou C, Solomon Renfro, Magomed Umalatov. He's really been in there with world-class athletes. Didn't go his way in some of those fights, but now on the 2-fight win streak, and he told me this week he is brimming with confidence.
He was very patient in this fight against an opponent who stepped in late notice. Really made the most of that. When he got the opportunity to take the fight down, started looking for the submission, got it after a couple minutes in the opening round. Beautiful performance.
Here is the man he will face tomorrow night, Omar El Defroy, the Egyptian. And one of my favorite moments from back in July was Omar sitting cage-side as Jalal won, yawning. The mind game started back then.
Yeah, it was great to see him. He had a beautiful performance earlier this year, dominated from start to finish. Great work in the clinch, great work on his feet. He's got some beautiful kicks. Took the fight down when he wanted to. He couldn't finish it with his opponent, but it's not like he didn't try to. There's some of those kicks. The great complete fighter.
There's a couple of low blows early in that fight that Omar said kind of hampered his progress. The survivor fight didn't get stopped, but a decision victory nonetheless. And Omar will be looking to take out the Jordanian Lion tomorrow night. Who will face in the finals? Well, it could be this man, Mohamed Al-Akra, black belt in judo and undefeated in his career, and trained with some of the best in the world.
Yeah, and has been doing that since he was very, very young, because when he was about 18 years old, he got thrown in the cage with Khabib a lot of times, and they told him, just survive, see how you do. And he, here he is.
Third round, ground and pound stoppage against Yusuf Rubas. Helped Al-Akra progress. His opponent tomorrow night, Amir Fazli, lost his first bout against Badr Indiani, but sometimes injuries happen, people drop out. A redemption here for Amir Fazli.
Yeah, I was very impressed with him, and everything he does with bad intent. Every single strike he throws at his opponent, he's got fight-ending intentions.
Well, the bantamweight bracket now, Elias Budizden against Rashid El Hazoumi, and against Ali Talib against Jalal Al-Daja, and Talib really was one of the standout athletes in this bracket. Many people labelled him as a favourite, and after his first fight, that label continues.
Yeah, we've seen him fight in PFL Europe last year. He's a knockout machine, but he showed a lot more patience, good footwork, really methodical performance in his last fight, and the other semi-final, a submission phenom in Elias Budizden against Rashid El Hazoumi, who we also saw fight in PFL Europe last year. Incredible kickboxer, great grappling, incredible matchups.
Well, let's take a look at our lightweights now. Another two fantastic matchups. Georges Ayad against Omar Aguigui. That fight is one I know you're looking forward to, Stefan.
I can't wait to see Mohsen Mohammad again. He, in my opinion, was the biggest surprise so far. Not a lot of people knew about him, but the performance he had and the power he showed in that opening round, absolutely incredible.
Compact, powerful, always coming forward. Yeah, as you said, really one of the athletes that surprised a lot of people in that PFL MENA card.
Including us.
Yeah, Mohamed Seifi. 5-fight win streak coming into this weekend. Undefeated and brave. He's got 4 first-round stoppages. He wants to make that 5 tomorrow night. Really, from top to tail, it is a scintillating card we have for you in Riyadh tomorrow night. And one thing we've learned, we talked about some favorites there. Never bet on the favorite thinking it's a sure thing. We've seen that time and time again in PFL Europe and on the global stage. Anything can happen in a PFL season.
Yeah, lots of surprises, and all these fighters really see this. This is the opportunity for them to make a name. PFL coming to MENA. Incredible opportunity for these fighters.
Yeah, everyone's talked about how proud they are to be part of this setup and the opportunities ahead of them. And as we said, we got some great fights in the season tomorrow night. Let's take a look at that so we can see how it plays out throughout the evening. Boulevard City, where we will be fighting. You see in the background there. These are our playoffs. 8 fights. Fighters from all over the region. In our main event, as I mentioned earlier, Abdullah Al-Qahtani. This is his home nation. He had to rise to the pressure, knowing his friends, family, his countrymen and women are in the audience. Can he do it again tomorrow night? But outside of our season, we've also got 2 fantastic matchups. We've got Adam Maskini against Yazid Hassayan. They are competing to be the alternate in the featherweight division. If one of those athletes who do pick their places in the finals, in the championships, falls foul of an injury, the winner of this contest will step in. And also the return of Malik Bashahale, real incredible amateur from the region. These men all would love to be in the season and compete for championships next year. And talking of championships, we've got a huge fight card coming up next month. Battle of the Giants, the return of Francis Ngannou. He'll take on Renan Ferreira, and one of the most highly anticipated women's fights in history, Cyborg versus Pacheco. Let's get to our cage announcer, Saif Al-Naj, to start our way.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. شكرا لزملائي في استوديو التحليل، واهلا وسهلا فيكم بالبوليفارد سيتي، وتحية طيبة لكل اللي عم بيتابعونا على محطات SSC، MBC Action وعلى منصة شاهد. زي ما تفضلوا الزملاء، هاي المحطة بالPFL MENA سيزن هي محطة أسطورية، محطة جدا مهمة لكل من ال20 مقاتل اللي راح يتنافسوا من خلال 10 نزالات في فئات مختلفة، البانتم ويت، اللايت ويت، الفيذر ويت والويلتر ويت. عندنا 20 مقاتل يمثل دول مختلفة من جميع أنحاء الدول العربية، الشرق الأوسط وشمال أفريقيا، راح يخوضوا قتالات جدا مهمة بكرة إن شاء الله ابتداء من الساعة 6 في توقيت المملكة العربية السعودية. قبل ما نتعرف على النزالات ونتعرف على أوزانهم الرسمية، راح يكون في عندنا فيس أوف نار حماسي، وممكن نشوف اكسكلوسيف انترفيوز مع بعض المقاتلين اللي راح يشاركوا في هاي النزالات. بس اسمحوا لي هلا ارحب في عضو جدا مهم في PFL MENA. رحبوا معاي، سمعوني احلى تحيه للفايس بريزيدنت اوف فايتر اوبريشنز at PFL MENA، مستر Gustavo Firmino.
Gustavo Firmino will oversee our weigh-ins here tonight at Boulevard City. The first of which will be a showcase bout, featherweight, 145 pounds, Adam Moschini from Morocco against the Jordanian athlete Yazid Hussein.
خلينا نتعرف على أول مقاتلين في الفيذر شوكيس بكرة إن شاء الله لايف اون ستيج. يقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء ويمثل المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية يزيد ذا جولدن بوي حسنين.
There's a last-minute call up to the main event in
وزنه
Yazid
الرسمي
Hussein's first fight
145.2
in PFL MENA.
pounds.
Got a great account of himself.
Yeah, he really deserves to be back here after that fight with Abdullah
وخصمه في نزال اليوم يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء ويمثل المغرب Adam Moschini.
Yeah, Adam Moschini really took it to the Egyptian zombie Islam Reza, enough to earn himself another opportunity on a PFL MENA card.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he did enough against
ووزنه
Islam Reza
الرسمي
to get the decision, but the decision
145.5
went to Islam Reza. Great striker, really good ground defense in that fight. Really looking forward to see this matchup. Incredible matchup, and these guys really earned this spot today, Andy.
Absolutely. I think this one's going to be an absolute banger to start the night. A lot of respect between these two as we start tomorrow night with a featherweight showcase bout. Adam Moschini against Yazid Hussein. And then our next contest sees the return of the Saudi Arabian prodigal child, some may say, Malik Bashahal, an amateur bout against Sahir Khwazmi from Jordan.
وخلينا ننتقل إلى النزال الثاني بالفلاي ويت شوكيس للهواة. المقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء ويمثل الأردن ساهر قاسمية.
Sahir Khwazmi is a wushu
وزنه
gold
الرسمي
medalist.
125.1 باوند. وخصمه في النزال يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء وهو يمثل المملكة العربية السعودية مالك ذا ستورم بساهل.
20
ووزنه الرسمي
amateur
124.4 باوند.
Yeah, one of the hottest amateur prospects right now. Incredible fights earlier this year. We've seen him fight twice so far this year, and can't wait to see this young man again.
Almost a slow year for Malik. You know, it was 12 fights last year. This will be his third this year. Can he squeeze in one more before the end of the year? Said he's not worried about turning pro and let his team decide that. Just focused on becoming the best fighter he can. So now we move towards our first semi-final bout of tomorrow night. It's in the lightweight division. George Ied versus Omar Raguiri.
وننتقل للتعرف على المقاتلين في النزال الثالث. لايت ويت سيمي فاينل. المقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء ويمثل تونس عمر ذا فوربيدن وان راغويغي.
Omar didn't get his hand raised in the opening round, but
155.8
has got a reprieve here for a second opportunity.
وخصمه في النزال الثالث يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء ويمثل لبنان جورجس
A really good prospect, really good striker. Looking forward to seeing him back. He's got a really experienced opponent, Andy.
The bulldozer takes to the scales, and you can see why. Look,
وزنه الرسمي
he can knock down anything you put in front of him.
155.9 باوند.
13 years of pro experience. He took a break for a couple of years, but now he's back, and this is the opportunity he was looking for to get back. And now he's in the playoffs, looking to get into the championships. Great matchup.
The bulldozer versus the forbidden one, our first semi-final contest of tomorrow night. We move on to our next one, a semi-final bout in the Bantamweight division. Elias Boudizdam against Rashid El Hazoumi.
I cannot wait for the grappling in this fight, Andy. It's going to be incredible.
والنزال الرابع نصف النهائي في فئة البانتم ويت. المقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء ويمثل المغرب راشد الحزومي.
Rashid's been training out of Thailand for this camp. Indeed, he actually moved there to be closer to the region when he signed his PFL MENA contract. Real sign of dedication.
He fought Franz Malambo on late notice last year and really impressed us with his grappling.
وخصمه في هذا النزال يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء ويمثل الجزائر إلياس سمايل بودكزامي.
Big smile across the face of, well, the smile, Elias Boudizdam. He's made the weight. That's his fight done. He hates cutting weight, he's told me. The rest now is indeed fun. We see a big height difference there between these two. But between them, Stefan, there are 22 submissions.
16 submission wins and 19 wins total for this man. Smile couldn't have a better nickname. Absolute submission phenom, as he showed again in the opening fight of this season.
Stefan Struve had his popcorn ready for that one. And probably this one.
Yes, sir.
Featherweight semi-final about the Egyptian zombie is the winner against the Moroccan Marwan Belguit. You sweet or salted, Stefan?
With these kind of fights?
والنزال الخامس بالبي اف ال مينا بلاي اوفز. النصف النهائي في فئة الفيذر المقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء ويمثل المغرب مروان ذا سناتشر بالغويت.
Marwan
ووزنه الرسمي 145.6
Yeah, once he got going.
وخصمه يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء ويمثل جمهورية مصر العربية إسلام Egyptian Zombie Rida.
Just one loss on this man's record, and it's to Abdullah Al-Qatani. They both win, they could meet in the finals.
It's going to be very interesting, and now we know why he's nicknamed the Egyptian Zombie, Andy, because he took some really big shots against Adam Askini in his previous fight, but he pulled through, was able to take the fight down to the ground a couple times, threatened his opponent with submission attempts, couldn't finish the fight, but great performance from Islam Rida.
Well, now we move on to a bantamweight bout. Iraq's Ali Talab against the Jordanian Jalal Al-Taj.
والآن ننتقل للتعرف على النزال السادس النصف النهائي في فئة البانتم ويت. المقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء ويمثل الأردن جلال ذا تورنيدو الداجا.
Al-Daja steps into the out of action Tariq Ismail, who did beat him in the first round.
والخصم يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء ويمثل العراق علي طالب.
Because he's fighting this man today.
How about this? This is one of the most experienced PFL competitors in the season, and really was a dominant victory in the opening round. Was frustrated to not get the finish.
Yeah, he's a true finisher, a real knockout machine, but he took a different approach. Great footwork, a lot more patience from Ali Taleb, which was a good thing to see, someone with that kind of power, now that kind of patience.
Taleb once again well under the weight limit. But that doesn't seem to faze him one bit. It's been the same time and time again. He's always come out incredibly strong, incredibly powerful. As we move towards another lightweight semi-final. Sohail Tahiri versus Mosen Mohamed Saif.
والآن النزال السابع في البي اف ال مينا بلاي اوفز في فئة اللايت ويت النصف النهائي. المقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء يمثل إيران محسن محمد سيفي ووزنه الرسمي 155.9 باوند. وخصمه يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء ويمثل الجزائر سهيل طاهري.
In that opening fight with the kind of power he has.
وزنه الرسمي 155.8 باوند.
First decision victory of his career in the first round against Ahmed Amir. Wants to get the finish, he enjoys getting the finish, but that's going to be tough against Mosen. Sohail Tiri against Mosen Mohamed Saifi.
It's good to see the doctor back, and he's not only nicknamed because of the way he fights, he's also got a PhD in applied mathematics for biomedical imaging, Andy.
Definitely smarter than us combined, without a doubt. Welterweight, our second semi-final in that division up next. Mohamed Al-Akra versus Amir Fazli.
النزال الثامن بالبي اف ال مينا سيريز في فئة الوالترويت. المقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء ويمثل إيران أمير ذا برنس فازلي.
The Prince said we didn't get to see the real Amir Fazli in the opening round of PFL MENA. He's going to get to show the real him tomorrow night.
وخصمه في هذا النزال الثامن يقاتل من الزاوية الحمراء وهو ممثل الكويت محمد الأخرى.
Mohamed Al-Akra doesn't know what defeat tastes like. 6-0 as a professional. Proud
وزنه الرسمي 170.1 باوند.
Trained out of AEK, but did this camp in Russia.
He's an incredible wrestler, and what I loved about his last fight, he was dominating from start to finish, but he really wanted that finish, and he got the finish in the third round.
He shared the cage with the legend Khabib Nurmagomedov. That experience surely will come into use tomorrow night. And now our co-main event, our second and final welterweight semi-final of the night. The Jordanian line, Jamal Al-Salawi against God First, Omar El Dufwari.
والآن خلينا ننتقل للتعرف على المقاتلين في النزال التاسع بالوالترويت سيمي فاينل. أول كومين ايفنت يقاتل من الزاوية الزرقاء وهو يمثل جمهورية مصر العربية عمر God First الضفراوي.
Well, the mind game started back in July.
170.8 pounds.
Looks like Omar continuing to try to get into the mind of his opponent
من
here
الزاوية
tonight.
الحمراء يقاتل من المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية جراح the Jordanian Lion السيلاوي.
27th fight of this man's career.
170.6
Yeah, lots of experience. Already got to fight on the global stage. Fought some of the best in the world. He's got a win over Abduragimov. Great fight in the opening round this season. Great matchup this is.
Omar said he doesn't understand how I handle challenges. I'm giving him so many to think about. Omar El Dufwari, very confident, but the experience certainly with the Jordanian Lion. This is our co-main event tomorrow night.
السلام عليكم عمر لحظة أخيرة قبل انطلاق النصف النهائي. كيف استعداداتك للنصف النهائي لمقابلة جراح؟
إن شاء الله بإذن الله بكرة هتشوفوا الأداء، وإن شاء الله بإذن الله أشوفكم شهر 11 على الحزام.
بإذن الله. عمر، هذه المساحة الأخيرة لك إنك توجه رسالة للجراح، وش رسالتك الأخيرة للجراح؟
أتمنى له إن إحنا نعمل فايت يمتع الجمهور، وأتوقع منه إن هو يجيب أحسن ما عنده عشان إن شاء الله يجيب أحسن ما عندي.
بالتوفيق إن شاء الله لك يا عمر. جراح حاليا يعني الاستعدادات بطبيعة الحال النصف النهائي البي اف ال مينا الوضع يختلف عندك بشكل كبير. كيف استعداداتك لعمر ومقابلته؟
الحمد لله التجهيز كان أكثر من ممتاز. جهزت كثير منيح لهذا الفايت. كالعادي كل فايت بعمله كأني بلعب مع أحسن حدا بالعالم. أنا أكثر من جاهز إن شاء الله.
بإذن الله. جراح احنا سمعنا كثير من عمر لكن ما سمعنا كثير من جراح. آخر كلمة لك.
إن شاء الله راح يكون فايت كثير كبير. بحكي لعمر جهز حالك. أنا حكون بكرة إن شاء الله موجود والفايت حيكون إن شاء الله فايت كثير كبير.
كل التوفيق إن شاء الله لك جراح. شكرا لك.
And here is our highly anticipated main event. Local superstar Saudi Arabian Abdullah Al-Qahtani against the Jordanian man Abdelrahman Al-Yazat.
إذا خلينا ننتقل
phenomenal
للتعرف
strikers, but
على
two
الحدث
completely
الرئيسي.
different strikers as well.
المقاتلين في السيمي فاينل لفئة الفيذر ويت. المقاتل الأردني من الزاوية الزرقاء عبد الرحمن كوبرا الهيصات.
We spoke earlier about the confidence of the Cobra. I mean, he's wearing sunglasses indoors.
145.9 باوند.
He's got a background in Taekwondo. You can really see that when he fights. He does a great job controlling the pace,
وخصمه
controlling the
في هذا
distance.
الحدث
He's got
الرئيسي
beautiful kicks.
يقاتل من
Can't
الزاوية
wait for this one tomorrow
الحمراء
night.
وهو يمثل المملكة العربية السعودية عبد الله ذا ريبر القحطاني.
He will make his fifth walk to the PFL cage tomorrow night.
وزنه الرسمي
He's dealt with pressure before.
145.4
He's dealt with being the superstar on a card before. Can he do it again? Can he book his place in the PFL MENA Championship? We're going to find out the answer to that tomorrow night.
Talk about an intense stare down, Andy. Really can't wait for this one tomorrow night.
A flag bearer for combat sports in Saudi Arabia, in the MENA region. Abdullah Al-Qahtani against Abdelrahman Al-Yazat.
تجهيز القتال عبد الله، كيف حضرت عبد الله؟
السلام عليكم جميعا. انا المقاتل عبد الرحمن حياصات من السلط من الاردن. جاي افوز ومش جاي العب، جاي افوز. جاي اروح عبد الله القحطاني عندنا على السلط ياكل منسف بعد خسارته. ان شاء الله توكلت على الله ولا حول ولا قوة الا بالله.
عبد الرحمن، اللحظات الأخيرة، رسالة أخيرة لك لعبد الله.
عبد الله أنا بعرف أنت كنت جاهز بس مش للمقاتل عبد الرحمن حياصات وراح تخسر تومورو إن شاء الله.
شكرا لك.
راح تزعلوا، أنا آسف كلكم راح تزعلوا.
شكرا لك، شكرا لك يا عبد الرحمن. عبد الله، عبد الله الكثير يسمح من يشجعونك، ايش راح توعد جمهورك بكره ان شاء الله؟
السلام عليكم. باذن الله بكره تستمتعون في الفايت، بنرفع يدنا وبنفوز باذن الله تعالى. الكلام سهل بس جوا الكيج كل شيء صعب.
عبد الله، احنا سمعنا كثير من عبد الرحمن قبل سمعنا احد يتكلم، لكن وش رسالة عبد الله الأخيرة لعبد الرحمن؟
اول شيء رسالتي انه هو جاي ضيف عندي، لكن جوا الكيج هو يقول انه بيزعلكم، لكن لا باذن الله بكره هو بيزعل وبيشوف وبفرحكم، بنرفع اليد باذن الله. الحزام بيكون في السعوديه باذن الله.
كل التوفيق لك عبد الله، شكرا لك.
As composed as ever, Abdullah Al-Qahtani, the Ripper, will headline tomorrow night. But talking about headlining,
Saturday, October 19th, it's a battle of the giants. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Francis Ngannou, makes his historic MMA return.
I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
Against the 6'8" Brazilian Titan, Reina the Problema Ferreira.
It's a 1-2 good night.
The two most devastating strikers on the planet in the biggest heavyweight fight of the year.
What a shot. Problema with the first round finish.
Plus, the GOAT of women's MMA, Chris Cyborg,
Right hand, hammerfist, Chris Cyborg.
takes on lethal two-time PFL champ, Larissa Pacheco.
Larissa Pacheco unloading big-time power shots.
4 champions competing for the first ever PFL Super Fight belts. Live Saturday, October 19th. Brace for impact.
October 19th, shaping up to be one of the biggest nights in mixed martial arts this year. I cannot wait to see the return of Francis Ngannou to mixed martial arts. But hey, Renan Ferreira really is a problema.
Yeah, he really is. Absolutely incredible matchup this is. Two monsters going at it. Who's gonna land first? I think that's the question.
And for you to say monster, that says something. Stefan Struve, 7 feet 1 inches tall. Look, you got 6'4", 6'5" Francis Ngannou, who hits like a freight train. You got 6'8" of Renan Ferreira. We saw it to Ryan Bader early this year. That man has stopping power of an elephant in his hands.
Yeah, if he connects, like the same goes for Ngannou. When these guys connect, it's night. Simple as that.
How would you feeling going into a matchup against either of those men? Again, this is your weight division. These are men your size. How would you feel against Ngannou or Ferreira?
Andy, I'm happily retired for 4 years now. Like, don't ask me those kind of questions.
And how
Please
excited
don't.
are you to see Ngannou back in an MMA cage?
Or if you're not excited about seeing the baddest man on the planet back in action, the man who has never lost his heavyweight belt, he really, truly is the baddest man on the planet.
And look, he's back in an MMA cage where we all want to see him. He's had a very challenging year. All words are saying that he's focused now on fighting, and this is really helping him move forward.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him back because he worked a lot on his boxing. I'm looking forward to see how it's going to work in his favor inside the cage with the small gloves.
Is there danger, though, that he's been working on boxing? We know how good at striking he is, and it's only going to have got better. But how about the rest of mixed martial arts? Is there an issue with him maybe not being active in this world for so long?
I don't think it's going to be an issue for someone who is, you know, coming from where he's come from in the past. He knows what he needs to do to be ready for this fight. And with everything that has happened to him in the last year, he wants to make a statement, I think.
Have you ever shared the cage with Ngannou? You ever trained with him?
I've trained with him in the past, 100%, yeah.
What's that like, being touched by that man?
Scary. Just every training session was scary, but I had a couple really good months with him training, and I'm just happy we didn't wear small gloves.
Will you survive that? You see that? Francis Ngannou, the lineal heavyweight champion, has never been beaten for that championship. 12 knockouts out of his 17 wins, 6 straight victories in his mixed martial arts career. This man really is the baddest man on the planet. A battle of the giants will be there October 19th. Come and join us on ESPN pay-per-view. One of the most important nights in mixed martial arts this year.
Yeah, can't wait for that night. Pacheco and Cyborg going at it too. Evelyn and Edwards. You got Hughes and McKee. That's an incredible card.
Yeah, really stacking up to be a fantastic card. So much buzz around it. Of course, it's going to be back here in Riyadh. I mean, so much coming to this area with mixed martial arts. We talked about Francis. Let's talk about Ferreira now. Of course, last year's 2023 PFL heavyweight champion. They call him the Problema.
It's a 1-2 good night from MENA.
Yeah, you know, we've all seen these knockouts. You know, it's scary to do that back fight. A man his size being able to do that, he shouldn't be able to do that, but the power he has, and you know, he knocks out Goldsoft, who had that incredible year this year. But he's the rightful challenger to Francis Ngannou, and it's going to be in a really interesting matchup.
I mean, intriguing to say the least, and they're all to play for Renan Ferreira. Can you imagine if this man who won $1 million last year, 11 knockouts on his record, 4 straight wins as of late. Can you imagine what world would open up to him if he were to be the one to stop Francis Ngannou?
Oh, incredible. Just incredible story that would be. But, yeah, I'm not putting any money on either of these guys. I really don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that is a must-see matchup. October 19th, coming to you right here from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And so much more on that card. Pacheco Cyborg, a matchup that so many in the mixed martial arts world have talked about in recent years. We finally get it.
Yeah, and the talk would always be there would never be someone like Cyborg. There would never be another striker in women's MMA like Cyborg. Here's Larissa Pacheco.
Well, must-watch card, but must-watch card also tomorrow night. Abdullah Al-Qahtani, another Saudi Arabian superstar, poised and ready for tomorrow night. He looked very composed on the scales, but the confidence of the Cobra hasn't got to him.
Composed but intense. Yeah, incredible matchup. 2 phenomenal strikers, different kind of strikers. Can't wait to see how it's going to play out.
Eyeball to eyeball for our featherweight semi-final. I mean, neither man taking a step back. Neither man is fronting there. Each equally confident in their abilities, in the fact they will win tomorrow night and book their place in the $100,000 PFL MENA Championship. And then our co-main event, Stefan. Really, from top to tail, this card is a must-watch. But that co-main event, the Jordanian Lion, Jalal Al-Salawi against Omar El Dafrari. Omar trying to get into the mind, it would seem, of Jalal Al-Salawi.
If Omar can win this fight tomorrow night, he makes a real statement, because Gerald Al-Salawi has fought some of the best in the world. He's got to win over one of the best in the world. So if Omar Al-Dafraoui can beat him tomorrow and move on to the championship, incredible for that young man.
Stars of this region looking to stake their claim as the best in MENA and move on to potentially global opportunities. Do not miss it. Come and join us tomorrow night live here from Boulevard City in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. From me, Andy Shepherd, and the skyscraper himself, Stefan Struve, will be joining you for all the action. It's must-see. It's career-changing stuff. Who will move forward to become challengers for the inaugural PFL MENA Championships and all the glory that comes with it? Who will be able to cement their claim as the best in this region? All those questions will begin to unfold tomorrow night. Stefan, how pumped are you for tomorrow night?
Oh, I can't wait. I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. Just the amount
scares
of
me
great
because
matchups, great styles.
A tired Stefan Struve is a dangerous Stefan Struve. Get yourself some Horlicks, have a lie down, get your beauty sleep. You need it, because tomorrow night we are going to be calling PFL MENA. It's the playoffs. It's all to play for. The fighters came face to face here tonight. So proud to represent this region, their nations. Come and join us tomorrow night for the playoffs.